Ibai, Ibai sojo, Ibai, Ibai le, Ibai, Ibai sojo, Ibai, Ibai le, Ibai sojo, Ibai la roye, shu Ibai le, Ibai sojo, Ibai la roye, eh baba Ibai le, Ibai sojo, Ibai la roye, eh shu Ibai le, Ibai sojo, Ibai la roye, eh baba Ibai le, Ibai sojo, Ibai la roye, eh shu Ibai le, Ibai sojo, Ibai la roye, eh baba Ibai le, Ibai sojo, Ibai la roye.
Maybe we can discuss cats today. One or two requests from your guest, information that you need for the tour. The cats that we have inside the park here are your so-called apex killers, the top of the killer range. Now, although these animals are in captivity with the human, they remain dangerous animals. So in a place like this, always safety first, of course. Let's get that out of the way. It happens sometimes on tour at some of the enclosures that some of the cats do stalk the group. It's just normal for the animal to do that because there's 50 million years of killing instinct stuck in the head. You can't get that out of the animal. Now, if stalking does take place, if I see anything, I'll warn the guest in time. You can normally see it develop. The correct thing to do when it happens is stand still and face the animal. People don't know that by facing the animal, you stop the stalking. Remember, in nature, these animals aren't from behind, from the blind side. They always use the blind side to secure their hunting success. So don't turn your back on the animal when they approach you. You make yourself food. Just stand still and face them. That stops the stalking. Always remember that there's an electrified fence between us and them. They cannot get to us. Okay. Cameras. Yes, I'm more than welcome to use the camera. If you do use the instrument, just don't lean across the safety barriers. Especially not with the lines. Lines are difficult to catch with cameras. They will warn you. People get excited, they want photos, they lean over the safety barriers. The cat on the other side will get more excited when you stay this side. Just to mentally, psychologically stimulate the cats. Because the cats can still see and smell them from over there. Now there's a very simple reason why we use zebras for that stimulation. Your zebra is the best food in the world that you can give to a carnivore. There's nothing better for them. And the reason for that is your zebra's meat is sweet. All your other meats in nature are salty. It's only your horse species that have sweet meat. So horse, zebras, donkeys, and then of course the fourth mammal with sweet meat. All primate species. Humans, baboons, monkeys, gorillas and so on. All your other meats in nature are salty. So beef, chicken, pork, salty meats. Now with the human that forms part of that sweet meat brigade, this might explain to the guest why some carnivores do become man-eaters. And the cats are the most famous for man-eating, of course the Bengal tiger from India and the African lion. We have both those cats. We are going to see them. We are going to talk about man-eating. I feel very strongly on that subject because when that does happen, it is always the cat that gets the bullet and the bad name. But what people do not want to hear is that man-eating is caused by the actions of the human. All wild animals fear the human, even lion and elephant. This is why we drive around in circles in our national parks and we don't see them because they're really afraid of us. But if you play with fire, you get very bad people. The problem is the cat gets the bad name, the cat gets the bullet. So we'll see if we can clear the cat's name today. That principle behind man-eating is so simple. If you're prepared to swim in the sea, don't blame the shark. It's caused by your own actions. Man-eating is caused by the human actions. Wild animals fear us, they leave us alone. Okay, so we'll see if we can clear the cat's name. Right, for the guest, one or two things I want you to think about it. We will get the answers at the end. We're doing the lines last. The first thing about a lion, sleeping. Your lion is the cat that sleeps the most. On average, a lion sleeps 22 hours per day. This cat doesn't move and it only hunts once every 2 weeks. That's when it gets up and gets some exercise. And there's a reason why a lion sleeps so much. A very, very good reason. We're going to talk about that later on. Is that it is the world's biggest killer cat. They are bigger, heavier, longer than lions. And we cannot save the species anymore. There's only an estimated 250 of these animals alive in the wild. baby boy is a lot bigger. Now, the guests will remember the lions together. This is alone. Alright, now what is going on here? This is what's going on. In nature, your tiger lives in a circle and they never go outside that circle. So these two cats in here are separate, but they are effectively inside the circle. Now the lion looks completely different. A lion does not have a territory. A lion parks his family. We know it's the cat that sleeps the most. The whole family clutches out. 2 weeks later, the lion gets hungry. He packs up the whole operation. The lion moves to the savannah, he kills, and there where he kills, that becomes home again for the next 2 weeks. So lions are social, they're always together, but they are nomadic. Where all tigers are static in a circle, and in that circle they live separate, secret lives. They do not even sleep together, they sleep alone. Tiger males and females are married, they are monogamous, but they are allergic to each other. Now where the lion simply sleeps and it doesn't move, what all tigers do during the day, they sleep, get up and patrol that circle, lie down and sleep, get up and patrol, lie down and sleep, get up and patrol. And the reason why this cat has that strange behavior to walk around every now and then is me as a tiger and my wife live alone in that circle. I have no safety security system. I alone am responsible for my safety, so every now and then the tiger walks to make its area safe. Where the lion, and this is why he sleeps so much, lives in a very big pride. 15 lions in a group, what can go wrong? If there's a problem, all 15 lions get up, they kill the problem, they fall down and they sleep. Now these patrols that tigers do forms the footpath that you see here, that you do not see there. And this is unfortunately what happens in China. On the border between Russia and China, they say it's the footpath. You have the cat. You get your chair, you sit down and you wait. They will come. Guaranteed. Both male and female will come past you several times a day, individually on their own. And this is why we know they're getting killed at 2 per week. We know exactly what's going on. Now you recognize the count of the fingerprint on the ear. Cat doesn't have that. Our cat is going to be 150 kilos.
That head is even going to get bigger.
It's like a house cat, he doesn't like the water. The tigers swim twice at least, because they do the number 1 and 2 only in the toilet. This is the toilet. So we need to clean that for the tigers every 2-3 months, or other every 2 weeks. The fact that we will always use the towers to get us above the fence line. You can see how wet the footpath is here where they come out of the water. It's liters of water running out of the dirt, like taking a blanket out of a bath. Now here's your 3.5 meter fence. The average mile is 4.5 meters. If you put a meter on top of this fence, if you stand on that tower at the top and you hold your hand over the top railing, your average mile will touch your hand there. Don't breathe at Jukani. Jukani is a rescue thing. So I don't know if the parents are still alive.
Is that where we went and ate that day? But this is, yeah, they really look after the animals. I mean, they're in beautiful condition. Look at the saasa.
Well, if you get warm tropics, India, Sumatra, Thailand, Bangladesh, Burma, where the Siberian comes from the cold Russia.
And are they also killing these, or is it only the other one?
Right. There are about 1,500 orange Indian tigers alive in the wild, in the warm tropics. This is now several countries, India, Sumatra, Thailand, etc. 250 Siberians in the cold Russia. And that is the end of the word tiger in the dictionary. There are no more white tigers alive in the world, in the wild.
Does he do this all day, walk backwards and
This
forwards?
is a tiger patrol. This is what he's
So it's not
doing.
as if he's unhappy, it's just a patrol.
No, I'm going to explain all this today. All white tigers today exist only in captivity with a human. The last cat like this was shot and killed in India for trophy value, for prestige and for money in 1958, in the previous century. So all your white Indian tigers today exist only in captivity with a human. There are 202 of these cats registered worldwide, and they are all brother and sister. So much so that as many as 80% of all white Indian tigers are born dead because of inbreeding. Only 20% survive. Angelo is part of that 20%, but those cats are genetically completely broken animals. They are born with clubbed feet, where the babies walk on their elbows. horrelpootjies. So you need to euthanize. The animals can't live that way. They're born with flat faces like Pekingese dogs, defective organs, very, very low immunity, and a great many of them, including this male, at a very young age. All your white Indian tigers become genetically blind as they grow up because of the inbreeding. Now what that means is, if you look at the cat's eyes, they sit with clean, clear and strong, healthy eyes, but the eye cannot see the brain anymore, and the brain can't answer the eye. Those optic nerves that connect the eye and the brain dries out as they get older because of the inbreeding, and then disappear, and you end up then with a cat with healthy, strong eyes, but it's become totally brain blind. So since 2004, that decision was taken in Holland. All the breeders of the white Indian tigers have stopped all breeding facilities. They're not breeding this cat at all anymore, because the more you breed them, the bigger their problems become, and the animals suffer in the process. Angelo's a young cat. He's only 1/3 into his life, and he's already 80% blind, and there's nothing we can do for the animal because it's not a medical condition. It is a genetic failure caused by inbreeding due to the lack of genes. People think you can save an animal's life in a zoo. You cannot, because you constantly create brother and sister. Your genetic blood bank of any wild animal comes from your wild populations. That's where you get your fresh genes from. And with carnivores in the wild, you cannot go below 2,500. That is your tipping point. Yeah, the biggest lie on the internet. There's no bigger lie than this. You know what they teach children about spotted hyenas? That they are scavengers that eat dead meat.
Yeah.
You could not be further wrong. Every single record held in the book, except for size, is held by this animal. I'm quickly going to run through the records so you can see what an amazing animal this is and how unknown. The first record, biting force. Lions and tigers, when they bite at the pressure of about 600 kilograms pressure per square inch. Spotted hyena clamps down at 1,400. Nearly 1,000 kilos on top of what that white tiger can bite. Next record, the animal is 2.5 times smaller than a lion and a tiger. It physically has a 2.5 times bigger heart. A lion's heart, tiger heart, is the size of a human heart, about the same size. A hyena's heart in that small body is the size of a volleyball. Now why is the heart 2.5 times bigger? The answer is running. And dead meat don't run. Live animals run. This is a hunter of life. It is a far, far better hunter of live animals than what lions and tigers can ever dream to be. In fact, lions and tigers are 50% successful in killing live animals. That's why they eat once every 2 weeks. Spotted hyena is 95% successful. This animal has fresh meat on the table every night, so why would it eat dead meat? Next record, what prey do they kill? Exactly the same as a lion. They hunt buffalo,
Zebra.
giraffe, elephants that are stuck in the mud. They've got meat every night, fresh meat. Just went to the shade there.
They actually the kings.
Let's go have a look there. Lions, they don't steal meat from lions. Lions steal meat from hyenas. Next record, see if you can spot that. Spotted hyenas evolved to perfection somewhere in the prehistoric past, when amongst the mammals, cats and dogs were not separated. There was still a grey area there. When amongst the mammals, males and females were not separated. There was still a grey area there. So look, when she gets up, she has a penis.
She has a penis.
Yes. They evolved at a time before males and females were separated. What is this animal? How old is it? If you open the wing on birds, all birds have only 4 fingers in their wing, and all birds have only 4 toes. And the dinosaurs, and the spotted hyena. When birds started evolving from reptiles, the ancestor of this animal was fighting T-Rex. And as a carnivore, it stood absolutely alone in nature. There was nothing around it. Your lions and tigers evolved millions of years later. So spotted hyena is a prehistoric biting machine as a mammal of live animals. The internet doesn't tell you this. This is an animal for the ladies. Nobody likes them. It's because the media doesn't know anything about the animal. All hyena females carry male characteristics in them, and that is caused by the male sex hormone known as androgen. Androgen is the drug that they use in human sex changes, where they give the patients very small amounts of that to get the sex change complete. This animal is pumped full of that from the father hyena side. All hyena females, therefore, look when she stands up, grows a fake male penis and scrotum to stamp down the authority in their groups. So if you see a hyena with a male organ, it can only be a female. It can never be a male.
What does the male have?
The male carries the organ internally. You cannot sex it like a dog. Right, now this is the cat. One of the only cats in the world that you can call that comes to you like a dog. People incorrectly refer to this as a lynx.
Oh, that's what I thought it was.
Lynx is a northern hemisphere snow cat.
Dog.
Boy, you're gonna get clobbered.
You won't last long wherever you are.
There's someone else a bit back there. This is a caracal. Afrikaans name Rooikat. Now this is the most successful killer cat of the cat species. Small cat, big surprise. What makes this cat so successful? It is the cat that has the most different ways of killing their prey of all cats and dogs. All your other carnivores kill their prey in only one way, and that is that they run them down, including the hyena, run them down, jump on them, kill them. Now this small cat hunts on the ground the way the others do, but at night it becomes a specialist in trees. So anything that overnights in a tree for safety, problem. Baboon, monkey, guinea fowl. And then exactly what the guests see on that photo there. This is why we placed the photo here. On top of that, it is seen as the most destructive cat known to nature scientists. It's the only cat in nature, when it starts killing, it does not stop. It carries on and on and on. So this cat is hated by farmers, because if this thing goes in with sheep, it kills 20 sheep in a matter of minutes. And when it's finished, it simply turns around and walks away. Nothing gets eaten.
Why does it
Farmers shoot them on sight. On top of that, it is the only cat that hunts day and night, where all the others hunt only at night because the antelope can't see, and the cheetah hunts only during the day because he's got the speed, he's not worried to be seen. So this cat has a much wider variety of prey than the others. Day prey during the night, night prey during the day, and what I'm trying to explain to the guest here, you will know that owls at night are low-flying birds looking for rats and rodents. This is all you will see. You won't see anything more than what you see on that leopard. Right, now this is the cat that people mistake for a leopard. The South American jaguar.
Is it smaller?
If you know what to look for, they are very different cats. First of all, look on the ear. There's the flash, the fingerprint. Tells you you're dealing with a panther, a little smaller animal.
Yeah.
Right, the difference between leopard and jaguar. Leopards come from Africa and Asia. The widest cat in the world, the cat that's doing the best in the world. This comes from the other side of the world, from South America. Second difference, when a jaguar walks, it is short on its legs, low to the ground, stocky like a bull terrier. A leopard is longer on the legs, more lean, more lithe. Third difference, keep an eye on the spine. There's a black stripe on the spine. You'll see now, there you see the line.
Okay.
It starts between the shoulders, it runs all along the spine into the tail, and next to that line you get the flowers. There you see a short, stocky cat. Now look what the cat is going to do now. He's going to lie down, and then he jumps up, and he runs away, and then he comes back and he will do it again. What is the cat doing? Trying to kill you. You can see typical tiger patrol. This is the female Bengal. Remember the white one that we saw? This is the orange one, of which we have about 1,500 females. 250 Siberians and it's more aggressive. The man-eating cat of the world. Indians who mark off right in front of us. She won't jump at me, she's warned. Alright, well, she might attack, just stand still. She came to us as a broken animal. She had both shoulders were broken, she had broken ribs on the left.
Doing what to her? Kicking it?
Fine injuries. She was used in Cairo in a street market for human entertainment.
And probably hit her if she didn't want to do what they wanted her to.
You will notice that she's a lot smaller than the white one. They're exactly the same age to the day. The reason why she's so much smaller, in Cairo they kept her on a diet of yogurt, brown bread and water. And the reason why they do that is to keep the animal alive, but to keep it smaller for longer so that you can abuse it longer for more money, so that people can pay.
Wow.
Oh, that is lovely.
Just take the video.
That is sitting it in a way.
It doesn't matter.
The lion females are like blood sisters on the prairie. They take care of each other. It's the only one of your big cats when a lioness is killed by a buffalo. Every female is like him. The reason for that, a lion's biggest enemy is not an elephant, snake, or a lion, or other human. It is the male lion across the road. Because that is the cat that kills me, it kills my babies and it takes my wives. Now these young lion boys in nature, where must they get house? There are no females for them. The next pride to fathers got 5 wives. So where do the young lion boys that grow up get females? They need to steal them. Now where do you steal them? From the other prides. Now those females are monogamous to the husband. They're not going to come to these young boys. So how do you get those females? You need to kill him. That's why his lifespan is so short. They also kill all the babies. And the reason why they do that is when the husband is dead and the babies are gone, it causes these lion widows to immediately start ovulating within 3 days after that.
Are they having a bit of a tiff between them?
I just